So, let's see. This week we got toughest places to play. We got the Sights and Sounds trailer, top offenses, top defenses. And here we are, power rankings. So it says here, team power rankings, and the moment you've all been waiting for. Here are the top teams in EA Sports College Football 25. I've got something to say about this for sure. Don't get it twisted. So, number one, chat, we've got Georgia 95, Ohio State 2 at 93, Oregon 93 at 3, 4 Alabama 92, Texas is 5, Clemson is 6, Notre Dame is 90, LSU 90, Penn State 88, 10 Utah, 11 Michigan, 12 Florida State, Miami 13, Texas A&M 14. So I'm confused with like the Texas A&M thing. Like, didn't they rank them as the loudest place to play? Because I have not so much concerns. It just goes to show how full of not great things. I don't want to say crap, but it just goes to show like just how full of it the college football committee is. So 13 Miami, 14 Texas A&M, 15 Ole Miss, 16 Colorado, 17 Oklahoma, 18 Wisconsin, 19 USC, 20 Virginia Tech, 21 NC State, 22 Kansas, 23 Arizona, 24 Oklahoma State, and then 25 Iowa. I know everyone kind of goes crazy when these rankings come out. We just have to remember, chat, that like EA knows exactly what they're doing with these rankings, right? They know exactly what they're doing, and that they want people to talk about this. Like, they want people to be like, I probably would have put this team here, or I probably, would have put this team there. Like, they know what they're doing, And another thing that we have to pay attention to is the fact that these rankings, as they have in the graphic, they're subject to change. So, going back to the whole Georgia thing, right? So, they've got Georgia pretty much like, hey, this is the team. Georgia 95 overall. So, they've said Georgia at number 1. I think they have, for defense, they have Georgia at number 2. I don't know. Honestly, I would have put Georgia at number 1 at defense. And then they have their offense at number 1. So my question, I get it. It's a whole new year. What business did Georgia have doing playing Florida State? I just don't understand how Georgia fell so drastically in the college football playoffs. They were what? They were number 1? And then, help me out, Hauser, they fell to like 5 or 6? Like, it's just like, this is just proving the point of like how the college football playoff committee is just so freaking subjective. If EA kind of had their way, they probably would have put Georgia at number 1 at everything, but they're not going to do that because people are going to be like, what's your fandom with Georgia? They're number 1 in the top offense. I mean, granted, this is video game talk, but they didn't just get these, they didn't just have a dream one day and say, okay, this is going to be our top 10 offense. This is going to be our top 10 defense. Like, I'm sure they looked at a lot of things to come to the conclusion that they did to start things out, right? Obviously, this is not going to be the same, by week 2, or I think too, also, this is going to change every week. This is going to change every freaking week. Georgia has been the best overall team for the past few years, to be honest. They just lost to Bama in the SEC game. Right, they lost to Bama in the SEC title game, but it's just like, or the SEC championship game, but I just don't understand how they fell as far as they did. And if you want my honest opinion, I really felt like they were trying to do Nick Saban a favor because they knew that last year was going to be his last year. And they were like, all right, you've done a lot for the game. You've obviously done a lot for Alabama. You got a freaking statue outside of the stadium. Like, they boosted him. Like, I really feel like they boosted Alabama because it was going to be Nick Saban's last year. And it blew up in their face because they got done up by Michigan, bro. It was a great game. It was a fantastic game. But it's just like, really? Like, I don't know. I just think that's just an observation that I've been making in these rankings. Let's say that Georgia did lose a lot. To still be ranked where they're ranking them, I guess what really bothers me about college football is just, it's a slap in the face to those players. To be able, I do have a soft spot for Florida State. My mom's been a Florida State fan since Deion Sanders. I worked at Florida State for a short period of time. I was fortunate to be able to go to the first college football playoff game when they played Oregon, got smacked by Oregon out there in California. So I do have a bit of a soft spot for Florida State without question. But it's just a slap in the face to those players because like they did everything that they were supposed to do. Like here, like it drives me insane when a criteria is laid out. Like these are the things that you need to do, and it's still not enough. Do you know what I mean? Like they still find a way to say this isn't enough. We still feel like you're not going to excel. We still feel like you're going to get blown out by this team, or you don't deserve. Like, you know, like it's a slap in the face to the players because God only knows what they did to keep themselves healthy. You know, who knows what they may have been dealing with mentally. You know, who knows what they've been going through. Like maybe there was some family, you know, things that they might have been fighting through, you know, to continue to be at their best, right? To continue to be at their best week after week. And then you've got a room full of freaking old ass germs that sit there and say, you know what, this isn't going to be a great matchup. It's all about money as well. It's all about money. Georgia, Alabama, Texas, those teams, you know, Ohio State, those are big baller football programs, and they travel well. I do think that these power rankings are interesting, but again, this is all set up to just create conversation, to create you know, speculation. Like it's just to get the people talking, right?